Good evening from Dunrovin Ranch in Lolo, Montana. I have two lovely women with me here today. This is Suzanne Miller, owner of Dunrovin Ranch, and we're about to do some horsing around. And on my left is a brand new employee. Her name is Ryan Perno.
Is this on?
Can you give us a hello?
I think
you're on. I think you're on.
I'm on. Hi. I'll get used to it.
She's new to the ranch and new to the technology.
I am.
So this is going to be fun, breaking her in. And let me tell you, our Days at Dunrovin members are happy to break you in.
Awesome.
They will tell you whenever anything's going wrong. Okay?
Perfect.
We kind of count on them, truly. It's wonderful. They see something amiss, a horse gets out, a donkey gets under, gets itself caught somewhere, and they'll text us. So, yeah, these are our eyes and ears all the time. And on my right here is my wonderful sister-in-law. And we go back 53 years. Can I believe it? You were in high school when I
was in high school.
Yeah, I was the first. Yeah, I was the first one to get married in the family. I was the first outlaw.
That's right.
Yeah, and Cedar is in between California and Madison, Wisconsin. She and her husband David are moving back to Madison, and I'm going to hand you the mic here. You can take it over there and just say hello to people. Give us a little thumbnail sketch here. We're trying to maintain our distances, so she'll just...
Hi. Yeah, I've lived in California since '72, but now I'm heading back to move to Madison, Wisconsin.
Pretty exciting.
Stopping here on our way for some really good time.
Yeah. Your family home.
Yeah, I grew up in Madison, so that's
Good.
surprising us all that I'm heading that way.
Yeah. So, Cedar has been here before, and she has ridden horses here before, but it's been a long time. And so I'm going to do a little bit of work here with Ryan to get her going with horses, and Cedar's going to come along and have some fun with us because you like horses, don't you? I remember you enjoying it. Yeah. Did your family once have a horse?
Never.
Never. Steve did.
Steve and David.
Steve and David did, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to work with Ryan and with Cedar, and once we're finished here, perhaps you can give your microphone to Ashley, because Ashley will work with Jess, and then Paula and Kate are kind of on their own. And people who have been following us know that all of these women have learned to ride here. Paula's been here a very long time, and she's riding Garnet, who wears sunglasses because he has a little bit of moon blindness. And Kate is the wife of our tech guy, and she's riding, I'm going to call him Chief, and I know it's not, it's Jasper. We used to have a horse look just like that. His name was Chief, and this one is Jasper. And Kate's come a long way. She's been doing this for the better part of the summer and just doing great. And then we have Jess, who is relatively new, And Ashley will be working with her. So let's go pass the microphone to Ashley. And James, I'm not sure how you're going to do this. Turn one on and turn the other off with two people talking in two places, but you're up to it. I figure you've got this figured out or you would not have allowed me to do this. So let's just see how it goes, all right? So first thing we're going to do is go over and get some halters. Come on.
Alrighty, Ashley. Trade off.
Oh, are you on now? Does the
It's getting increasingly hard. We need to move the tire up. No, we'll be far enough apart. We'll just stay 6 feet apart.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
Kate uses rocket
Outside, this is the lucky part about it all.
using whiskey today.
Is to be outside.
No,
I'm gonna get a
Cedar
couple
is going to be using
halters for
whiskey.
you.
Susan's sister-in-law.
And I'm going to have you do this yourselves. I see that the halters are already over there, which is great.
Should I mention it? Yeah, we have
A saddle.
too many horses using the same saddle, so no saddle for Rocket.
Pardon?
Well, normally Rocket wears number 1, but so does.
We figured that out the other day.
Yeah, but it's because Jasper has that one also. So Jasper is using rockets.
Jasper is using rockets.
We're using Rocket, who uses whiskey saddle also.
Okay,
I also
let
have whiskey.
me look in here and see what we got. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we need is a wide saddle.
Yeah.
A wide,
This one we don't
well,
really
I'm
use.
thinking this one.
Yeah.
Okay, whose is this normally 9? Who does 9 normally go to?
I don't think that's assigned to anyone.
Yeah, let's try 9, and I would try a 9. Let's see. Rocket has got more of a barrel than Jasper.
Yeah.
And who's the other horse?
Whiskey.
Whiskey. Oh,
This
yeah.
one is whiskey saddle.
Yeah. Keep that for whiskey.
Okay.
We've had a hard time with whiskey.
Uh-oh.
And it's more the gullet up resting on his withers.
Right.
Okay. So use number 9
Okay,
there.
okay.
And if that doesn't work, then let's go to
What pen looks pretty well?
11.
11.
Yeah. I think 11 used to be Chargers, and Charger was a big horse.
Okay.
Who's losing 11? Yeah, Flynn. Flynn's got a barrel on him.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, in fact, start with 11.
Start with 11.
I think 11, now that I think about it.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Okay.
All right, this one
All right.
is
Let's see.
a different kind of saddle, so I'm going to have to
Okay, now we've got 2 horses here. And the horse that is in the stall that says Butte is actually Whiskey. But they drink a lot of whiskey in Butte, so that's fine. Okay? All right. And this is the horse we'll partner you with. His name is Dugan. Okay? So, he does. Oh, yeah. And he has special medication. If you were going to ride him on a long ride, you'd give him some medication first. I had a horse for many years that had bad asthma. I had an aspirator for him, and I rode him 30 miles in a day. Not a problem, as long as he had his meds, and as long as you kept him. You know, I rode with my aspirator. That was Denali. Do you remember Denali? The big horse. Yeah. Yeah, he was wonderful. Just a fabulous horse. So I'm going to look at the camera a little bit here, and you guys can get on either side of me, all right? And what I want to point at here, or maybe in front of me, yeah, there you go, okay, is I'm a queen of safety. And part of that is because there are a lot of different people handling horses out here instead of one person. It's really, you can get away with a lot of, it's a one person with one horse. But when you've got multiple people with multiple horses, you really have to have a system. And the horses get to know that system, and they kind of expect it. And so if you keep within that system, it's better for them and it's safer for you. So our system is always intended and takes into account doing things in a herd as opposed to a stall. It's easy to do things in a stall. It's not so easy to do things in a pasture or down in the forest where you're looking for one horse and you've got all these other horses milling around and they can move you. So I teach safety things here in the stall, and they're probably too much, but they're not if you're in a herd situation, okay? So the way a halter goes on a horse, this is where the nose goes through right here. And I always tell people, rule number one is you never ever put a lead around your hand. Horses have the fastest reaction time of any mammal, faster than any other mammal. And with this around your hand, you can lose a finger in no time at all. I had a good friend, 75 years old, in the Bob Marshall Wilderness area. I've been a horseman his entire life, and he made that mistake and lost 2 fingers and almost died because of the loss of blood. He was by himself. He was just lucky he ran into somebody who was able to help him. So, I mean, and it's the kind of thing that you should develop muscle memory on. You never put a rope around your hand. And I'm sure it's true for a boat. If you're a sailor, too, you don't want things around you. So you lay the lead in your hand, and then you put the halter in the opposite order on that you're going to use it in your hand. You use the buckle second. You use the strap first. First this, and then the lead. Okay, so you put the buckle here, and then you put the strap here, and you separate it. The reason you separate it is I'm going to put my left hand under the horse's neck and use my right hand to go over the neck and grab it. And when you see when I do that, it opens up exactly right for me to then just pull up. All right? Now, in a lot of places, you'll see people put the lead around their neck or around your shoulders or anything like that. And again, I'm teaching you what you would do in a big herd of horses where lots of horses milling around. And if a horse comes to move another horse, you don't want things on your neck. You don't want things that are half on the horse and half off the horse. It either is totally on the horse or not at all. And that's why you do this in kind of a one quick motion deal, okay? All right, so you got your horses here, Mr. Whiskey and Mr. Dugan. And you use gaits to your advantage, okay? So I'm going to go in this stall, and I mean, these horses are just, docile as can be right now. But there are times of the year and times of the day when they're not so docile, and they're anxious to get out. If these two were the last horses here, for example, and all of their partners had gone off doing something, then they're very anxious. They want to. So again, you teach yourself to do things when things are quiet so that when things aren't quiet, you're still doing it and you do it in a way that's always safe, all right? So you use the gait to your advantage. Notice we have 2 hooks on these gaits. The reason we have this second hook here is the donkeys know how to open the gates. Yeah, and they'll go around and they'll not only open their gate, they'll open everybody's gate, and they'll have party time at Dunrovin, okay? So because I want this horse to stay there, I'm going to open the gate towards him because that pushes him in. Doesn't see if I open out, he might want to step out. I'm just going to push in here, okay? All right, Dugan. And I'll have you do this in a minute yourself. And then I close the gate behind me. You can see why we need these other locks here. Okay. Hi, Dugan. This is a really sweet horse. You're going to like this horse. He's just really sweet. So I come up to this. If the horse is on my right, his left side, okay, is called the near side of a horse. The near side, okay? And the horse's right side is called the far side. And why is that? Well, all tack is made to be put on the near side. And you can say, well, why is that? Okay. Well, the reason is in the days of yore, all right, when horses were used for in the military, and I mean the days of yore way back, okay, and soldiers had swords. Most soldiers were right-handed, okay, so they would wear their sword on their left hip, because if you try to pull your sword out of your right hip with your right hand, it's too hard. You have to pull straight up. You always wear your sword on the opposite hip, so you pull across. Okay, well, to get on a horse, one of your legs is going to have to bend. And they always made it their right leg so that they wouldn't have to bend with their sword. Okay? Does that make sense? And that goes clear back to Mongolia, to the, you know, when there was swords and not just swords, but spears and all of that kind of thing. Everybody carried everything on the left because most people are right-handed. Okay, so it started a long, long time ago. So the first thing I'm going to do, what's that?
What happens when people are left-handed like
Well, you have to adapt.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Are you left-handed as well?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, some things in life, you just, you know, they just make them one way. That's just the way it is. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put my arm around his neck, and then I'm just going to hand the strap over, bring it forward, and put it on, all kind of in one felt movement. Now, see, there's nothing on the ground, and there's nothing that's going to get in the way if this horse were going to be moving when, let's just say that my lovely mare, Alonzo, who likes to move everybody around, was standing next to him and took exception to his being here, and he'd have to move, okay? And I'll show you in a minute when I get him out. You want to be careful about where you place this because of the buckles and his cheekbone, okay? All right, now again, I don't have the rope around my hand. I have it looped in my hand. And now I want him to come out, so I'm going to want to open the gate out. And you can just move over. Go on, go on. You're not playing with you yet, okay? So what I want to do is I want this horse to know that there's been a transition. And the transition is he's no longer in charge of his life. I am. Okay? And so it's really important. It's the transition you both have to make. You both have to be, of the mind that you're the one of the two of you in charge. So I'm going to open this gate, and it likes to fall open. And I'm not going to let him follow me. This is a well-trained horse. Okay? I'm going to invite him. See, if he were anxious, he could just walk right over me. So by doing this the same way, every time, when he is anxious, he automatically stops and waits to be invited. You see what I'm trying to say? If you do it this way all the time, every time, the horse gets to know I'm supposed to wait here until I am invited. Okay? All right. So I'm going to bring him around, and I'm going to close the gate. And now I'm going to show you about this halter. And I don't know if James can get up close enough with the camera. But this halter has a buckle right here. See the buckle? And I want you to come over and feel his cheekbone. Just feel it. Come over and feel on either side. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Very prominent. Very, very prominent. Okay.
It's got to be down below.
It's got to be below the cheekbone, but it also has to be above the soft side of his mouth. Feel the soft side of his mouth. So there's this nice little sweet spot. And if anything, I would say I put it on too tight. I would loosen it one. Why don't you loosen it one?
It's kind of...
Yeah, just loosen it one. And I'll show you tricks with halters. Are you having a hard time getting it undone?
Yeah.
Okay, watch. Let me show you.
I just got it, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll take it off in a minute for you. You do enough of these, you learn all the tricks.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is this horse could have been standing around all day, and suddenly I want to take it for a ride, okay? And I'm busy, got kids running all over the place, and this is my fifth ride of the day, his first ride of the day. Who knows what's going on around here, right? So I just want to take a moment to make sure this horse is rideable. And I want to make sure he is in good health to be ridden, okay? And the way I do that is I give him a very systematic check. And this is the only thing this horse doesn't do all that well. So this is something you can work on, okay? And he's relatively new in our herd, and I don't know that he has been instructed in this as much as he should have been, okay? At any rate, I'm gonna put some pressure on his hindquarters. Look at how I'm not really pulling him. I'm putting pressure on his hindquarters. I want to see his back feet cross. All right? I want to see those back feet cross. All right? And the reason for that is if a horse has a neurological problem, it'll show up in his ability to cross his hindquarters. So if he's got something going on in his back, in the nerves that go from his head to his tail, this is where it'll show up, and it'll show up very readily. The other thing I'm doing is I am watching his feet put down. He's putting his feet down, and he's not hesitant on any foot. And this is where I adjudicate that there's not a stone in his feet, that he's not hesitant to put a foot down. I do not pick my horse's feet. And the reason I don't is they're on sand and gravel. And when we get to the route, I'll show you. The bottom of a horse's hoof has what's called a frog. And a frog is, it's a pump. It pumps the blood from the bottom of the horse's foot back to the heart. And if it doesn't hit the ground every time, it's not doing its job, okay? So when you put shoes on a horse, you're lifting the whole foot up off of the ground. So the padding around the frog is really important, because now when that foot hits the ground, it pumps the frog, pumps the blood back up. Now, if there were a stone or something, you would want to clean that out. And in some places that have a lot of, bacteria like thrush and a very wet place, you have to check their hooves more often. But Montana's dry, and that's one of the reasons I selected this sand and gravel mixture, is it's very soft in their feet. Their feet get dirty with it, and that's just fine, okay? Okay. Pardon?
It's okay if mud's in there?
Mud.
Mud is, if it's going to dry out right away, not a problem. It's if you were in the mud for days at a time, then you start getting bacterial problems in there, thrush and things like that, okay? So the next thing I want to do, and this is where this horse is not as good as he might be, is I want to look him in the eye, both eyes, and I also want him to give me his head and stretch his neck. So the way I do that is I get next to him and put my hand on his withers, and I just pull his head. There, he gave it to me right away. Did you see when he gave? You can feel. If he doesn't give, I just stand there until he does. I don't jerk. I just keep the pressure steady, always. And this is twofold. It allows me to look in both eyes, and it stretches his neck. Oops. See, now he's not quite doing it. I'm just going to hold it until I get it. I want him to voluntarily give it to me.
Unattached.
That's part of this transition from who's in charge. Okay? So then the next thing I do is I want to make sure that he really recognizes I am in charge. And I do that by making sure he moves when I move. Okay? That means both forwards and backwards. If I stop, he should stop. If I back up, he should back up, without my having to ask him, without my even having to look at him. He should just know I've got my bubble and he stays out of it. And think of how important this is in the backcountry. You have a accident and you're all walking down a hill that's steep. That you want that horse to use all of its muscle to stay off of you, you know, and that he knows no matter what I have to do, I can't get any closer. I have to stay off of you. So that's why all these things are really important. They're not important right here, but they can be very important. And you know, you train for the worst, not for the best. But you get the best horse by training for the worst. So this horse should, you know, turn with me and just kind of stay at my right shoulder without, and I'm not pulling this horse. I'm not pulling anything. He's just staying right with me. Okay? And it's all body language, ladies. If I look back,
Yes,
or if I
believe
have
it,
in my
manifest
head,
it, make it happen.
Gosh, I hope he turns back. I hope he backs up when I back up. He reads you like it. And if he knows if you really are.
I think this is going to be the easiest ride ever on Raz. I just have to sit here.
You can say the right words, but if it's not in your head, it's not going to have any impact on you at all. And this.
Got to do my little routine with them. So you go ahead. Yeah? Oh, yeah.
Margaret, you make this way too easy for us.
Yeah, I got to do circles. I get it. All right, reins over the brain.
It really does make it super easy.
Does it feel sturdy enough? Okay. If you start sliding at all, get off.
Is it supposed to?
That's too loose. I don't know what to do with those cinches. Like,
It's tied around his girth. It's just tied around his. It's just the back that's swinging.
but it's tight on the front. You want to see if you can tighten it up one more?
Sure.
You can just loop your reins around the horn of his saddle. And he's really not going to go anywhere.
Sorry.
So unhook it. I guess you don't have to unloop it all. Just give it one good tug, get another hole up. Yeah, I need to watch another video on those saddles and see how to do the cinch up right.
Is that pinching you, buddy?
And then you can kind of just like
I'm sorry.
yeah, there you go. Just tighten that guy.
Oh, that's because I just went to. Okay. And then that goes here?
Yeah. And then you can loop it through one more time on the top.
Yeah, this kind of. That's not user friendly, is it?
No. It's not beginner friendly.
I can see how in the.
The purpose of that cinch is to not have to have two cinches when you're riding out on the trail. The Y shape of it pulls the front and the back down towards the center at the same time. So that way you can just have one cinch ready to go.
That's good.
Yeah. So as long as you can get on them,
I hope he's okay.
it'll be fine. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, buddy.
Find your seat. Sit upright.
Oh, this is a totally weird saddle.
Yep. They got a different feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember how we hold our reins? So you got your in between your three fingers and your pinky.
Is it? No, that's right, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It looks weird on another person. You got? Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you. Yeah. You can shorten them up just a little bit. Probably like 3 or 4. Yeah.
Then I'm figuring I don't want it looped around my saddle horn, correct?
No, and it can kind of just flop off to one side like that. Yeah. So that's going to give you more of a feel of the double rein kind of thing where you're just moving one hand at a time rather than both of them.
How you doing, buddy?
Your stirrups feel okay? They look long enough.
They're good.
Okay. All right.
All right. And do a little lap around?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to ride side by side with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make it a nice, easy ride. Very well, side by side for the most part. Going to the rail.
And a little bit faster. There we go. Nice. Good boy. This might be the fastest you've ever.
He's like, just get it over with.
Yep.
All right. You can go ahead and get on the rail in front of us,
Okay.
and then I'm going to come around to your other side. I feel like you should be on the rail. So right leg squeeze, right leg. And so with the double reins, rather than pulling your hand out to the side to steer him, you're going to pull your hand, really, you're going to pull your elbow back towards your back, towards your spine. Please do not run directly into the cone.
Oh, look at us cooking with the oil.
Wow.
There we go. Good boy, Rocket. You're my hero. Okay, good boy. Yep, just staying still. Staying on the, yep. Good boy. Yes, you're amazing. You're so smart. You're brilliant boy, you. Okay,
Raz, you can't go on the steps.
good boy. Why? Oh, you're just listening to me. Okay. Good boy, stick to the rail. Thank you. Yeah. Come on, keep going. Good boy. Oh, good boy.
It would be Garnet to knock it over. That's all right. You can step over a diagonal rail.
No, you know.
You gonna fix it?
Yeah.
All right. Whoa, Raz. He's like, oh, where'd my buddy go? All right, right leg, get him back over the rail.
Good boy.
Where are you going up, jetting off so fast to? You want to do the twisty poles? Okay, I see you, Raz. I see you. Good boy. You're such a pro. Raz is a little better at that than Mickey is. Thanks, Paula. Alrighty, I'm coming up on your right side. Give him that right leg. Get the back over there on that rail.
I saw your coat. You can get ready. There you go. Come on.
Alright. So your left hand looks good. Your right hand's a little flopped. I like to have a more of an upright, like your thumbs on top kind of situation rather than like facing down.
Right. Okay. Ah, got it. Okay.
Good boy. Okay, one more. A little complicated. A little complicated. Come on, get that butt around. Get that butt. Get that butt. Good job. One more. Get that one. Good boy. Get that butt. Swing that butt. Swing that butt. Good boy. Good job. Yeah, it's a lot more fun to ride in circles around stuff than just circles around the arena.
Right. We're gonna ride alongside you for a minute.
Okay. Good boy, Raz. Okay, so I want you to work on keeping your hands down towards the horn of your saddle and keep them even. Don't. So when he does that, give him a pull in his left rein and kick him with your right leg. Get him back over to the rail.
Well, they just have their moment.
And they're hungry.
So, are you saying that on its rump looks like oats?
A delicious peach.
I get it, dude. I get it. I'm so sorry.
I get it. He's a little hangry. All right, Raz, let's do these steps. Step. Good boy. Step. Could be a little straighter. Step. Good boy. Good boy. So proud of you. He's turning as I turn my head before we even give him reins or legs. There you go. That bobbing and weaving is all about legs. Good point.
I don't want him to be thinking that he can get away with. You know, you have to have it in your own head. You have to just say, this was getting out of my way. You know, you can't say, oh gosh, I hope he gets out of my way. Okay. All right, 5 steps forward. Stop and 5 back. I'd have to work you over. Okay, now I want you to turn to your left. The horse should come with you. All right. Keep going until I say stop. Okay, stop. Horse stops. All right. Now back up 3 steps. You have to be really definitive with him. You know, it's like a child. I always tell people.
I'm good at this as a mom. I recognize that right away.
You can nag a child or you can just be firm.
Yep.
Right. So no nagging. This is not a nagging situation. You just tell them once and they do it. Okay? This is not negotiable. They just do it. Okay? Be really definitive. Hit him hard once. You're doing great.
Thanks, because I have a good partner.
Huh?
I think I have a good partner.
Yeah. Well, Whiskey is a much more dominant horse than...
Yeah.
And so, see, Whiskey's thinking, I think I could be the dominant one here. You know, she's a real nice lady. I could push her over and I could do what I wanted to do because she's awfully nice. Yeah, I can just tell by her body language that I can get my way. And that's fine here, but it won't be in a dangerous situation. It will not be a good idea at all. So I want you to just watch me for a minute. You know, I am not going to have to drag this horse. He is going to come with me or he's going to have trouble. Right? Okay, let's go. Come on. He gets it, and he will get it if you mean it or if you don't. That's why they use horses in therapy, you know, because it's instant feedback. I'll get off your case now. Just work on it yourself. Okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to show you how to do the knot. Okay? And we can do that right here. You don't get into other people's. Or maybe not. Is anybody here? Okay, I think he can get a better view if we do it here. Let's go over here. Okay, so appropriately enough, it's called the bank robber's knot. Okay. All right? Because if you were a bank robber, you had to get away with your horse really quick, right? So you couldn't be fooling around with the knot. Okay, come on. All right. So, and I noticed that Ashley showed you a little bit about this today.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Inside the practice though.
Yeah. So, there's a couple things. I always tell people there are just 3 loops involved. You take, it goes behind the rail, it's the first loop. And then you take the horse end and you stick it through the loop and you tighten it. And then you take the trailing end, this is called the trailing end, put it through the loop and you tighten it with the horse end. And this is about the right distance that you want this. Why? Well, he can put his head down, but if he puts his head way down, he still can't go far enough that he can put a foot over it. If it's too long, and he puts his head down, and you know how Mickey was pawing when you were here this morning? Paw, 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 move, 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 and suddenly he gets this goes from here to underneath his leg and back again. Now that's why you want a knot like this. If that happens, no way in heck are you going to untie a knot that's not a quick release knot, because that horse is now really pulling tight. And you are not going to be able to get out. So this just comes unloose with one pull. Okay?
So what does stomping body language mean for a horse? That they're just impatient?
Oh, they're impatient. It can mean flies. It can mean all kinds of things. It can mean anxious. Yeah. So again, 3 loops. 1 behind. Okay? And then you take the horse end and you put it in, and then you tighten it. And tightening it is important, okay? And then you take the trailing end and you tighten it with the horse end. Now, if you have a horse that likes to play with this end, you can do what we call lock it and put this through. So now, if I'm going to quick release this, I don't pull this, I pull this instead.
Okay.
Okay? You got it. So let's see if you can do this with the right amount of... Okay, now do a quick release. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. You got it. Huh?
Can I try
You can do it as many times as you like. Do it until it becomes automatic.
Okay.
And just always be aware of how much lead you have between the knot and the horse. Enough so that he can put his head down, but not so much that he can put his foot over it. Okay? Yeah. That's 2 in a row. Really good. Yeah.
Suzanne, is this too short of a tail, or it's okay?
Well, it's too long for between the horse. Look at, if he puts his head way down, he could eat, it's just too much on the horse side. A little too much, not a lot. So now you can tell, if you've got too short a tail, you got too much on the horse side. And all of these leads are of different length, so you have to kind of watch it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To judge it each time. Do you want to come and learn the knot, or how are you doing over here?
I'm doing great.
You're happy?
I'm having a wonderful time. So when we back up,
See, it makes you more determined.
Yeah.
It's not really about him. You know what I'm saying? Just by making your motions big.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan, it's time to take him away. Here comes Jess with her horse. All right, and I'll have you put him away.
Is that Butte or Dugan? Dugan.
Yeah.
And Butte is also black, right? But he's a
Pardon?
little bigger. Butte is also black.
Yes.
He's bigger though.
He's bigger and he has a little tiny white spot.
Okay.
Yeah. There are 3 horses that are completely black. Butte, Mickey, and Dugan. And Mickey and Butte have, Dugan and Mickey, that was better, see? Mickey and Dugan are the only 2 with no white at all. And Mickey has a brand. He wears my brand. His horse has never been branded. Okay? I have a right shoulder brand.
Gotcha.
You can see the brand over here on whiskey. It's the Dunrovin brand. It's a,
Oh yeah. Okay. And Mickey has it.
Mickey has it, Dugan does not. All right? And Mickey's bigger than Dugan. Okay, you can put him back. Better.
Took a few steps. Put him back in.
Push the buckle. Here, let me show you.
Okay.
Let me show you. So I'm just going to take the buckle and push it up. Push it up. Okay. I'll put my whole hand on it. So. Again, take the whole buckle, hold the strap, and just push the buckle up on the strap. Okay? And you'll do that with all of them. Good.
That was fun.
Okay, you have to lock these again, you guys.
Oh.
These donkeys will be out here. And I think you're probably going to work with Ashley to get everybody fed and everybody back. Okay, so then the halters can be just put up on the rail there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so here's a good question. You got a horse that's in your way. Very good question. There are 2 places to be safe around the horse's hindquarters. Really close or really far, okay? In between is not good, okay? So I'm going to go up to this horse and let him know I'm here. Hi, Rocket. He doesn't give a damn that I'm here at all. Okay, so he just doesn't care. Not only, okay, but so do you talk to a horse when you're coming up behind him? You just let them know that you're a person, nothing to be afraid of. They can see right everywhere except right in front of them and right behind them. How did it feel?
Yeah, felt good.
Good.
You did well.
Good. So, where did Ashley go? Okay, that's all right. So how did the saddle work for you? No, wait a minute. Yeah, there you go.
It was awesome.
Okay, get the cinch. As you pull it over, grab the cinch, and it's going to be on the ground.
Thank you. Okay, I'm right behind you, Rocket.
Okay, and then, yeah, you're all right.
Okay.
And put your cinch in your keeper. Okay, you should have everything on this side. Okay, so that you can put the cinch right on. And the cinch goes in this keeper right here. So that's what you can do as you drag the saddle across the horse. Okay. How did this saddle work on him?
It seemed fine. She is not crazy about the fit or the sit of it.
Oh, too big?
But, it's different. Yeah. I think that's why, is because it was different. So,
Okay, it has a deeper seat.
maybe that's, It just seemed awkward for some, but again, it's probably, I'm sure if I rode on it 2 or 3 more times, I'd be, the other one doesn't feel right,
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it fit him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
okay.
got a pretty wide tree at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Whiskey has to keep his tree, his.
Yeah, he's got much narrower shoulders. This
Okay.
one, it didn't have, what is it, a latigo?
Oh.
So I stole it off of Monty's, so we'll just
Okay.
have to switch them back and forth.
Well, I know there's another one in here.
Yeah.
We just need to get him.
Okay, I'll find it.
Yeah.
Ashley, where would you like Jasper in the pen?
No, they can all go out in the pastoral.
All right. Well, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody.
Have a good
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right. Thank you for coming.
Do you know when we're gonna have the staff meeting? Okay, I saw that email. Mika is pushing me off until Saturday because two people that I work with, I guess, are gonna touch the just have to be here. It really doesn't matter. Okay, you guys, never leave the gate open. Okay. Need some help? You need help with something?